Hi guys, in this video we are going to continue our discussion with regard to the current affairs pertaining to finance section for upcoming RBI Grade B 2019 and SEBI Grade A 2019 examination. The topic which we are going to cover today is the changes in the EWay bill system. Also, at the end of this video I am also going to discuss some of the important MCQs which can be asked from this particular topic. Now, before proceeding forward, let me quickly tell you about the excellent results that we have achieved over the past few years. Now, in 2017, in RBI Grade B, we had 27 final selections from our students, and in NABARD Grade A, we had 11 final selections from our students. And in 2018, we repeated the same success story. And in RBI Grade B, we had 70 plus final selections, and in NABARD Grade A, we had 26 final selections. Also, in 2018 SEBI Grade A examination, out of the total 84 selections, 41 of our students they made it to the final list, and in the IBPS AFO examination, our students have got 100 plus interview calls. Now, if I talk about the different individual courses that we are providing, then they include RBI Grade B, SEBI Grade A, NABARD Grade A, RBI Assistant, and IBPS AFO examinations. Now, apart from running the separate courses for all those individual examinations, we are also having some combo courses which you can avail. So we have a combo for RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A, and SEBI Grade A. We are also having a combo for RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A, SEBI Grade A, RBI Grade B, and NABARD Grade A and SEBI Grade A. So we have all the requisite combos that you can choose from, and you can choose the appropriate course as per your requirements. Let me also tell you about our new course, which is very important for all the banking exams. This is the QRE course. QRE, that is quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability, and English. So all these aspects which are very important for all the banking exams, they are going to be covered in this particular course. So this was the headline which was there in the news recently, that Finance Ministry has introduced certain changes in EWay bill system to check GST evasion. Now this statement is very short, but it has lots of concepts combined in it. First one, we have to know that there are certain changes which are being made in the EWay bill system. Next, we have to be aware about what is EWay bill system, and then again we must have a brief idea of what is GST, that is goods and services tax. So then only we will be able to holistically understand this particular news. So what we are going to do, we are going to take a look at the background. We are going to learn about GST, we are going to learn about EWay bill, and we are going to learn about the changes being introduced by the Finance Ministry, so that the concepts they become crystal clear to us. So let me briefly tell you about the new EWay bill system or the new mechanism which is being introduced by the government. Let's just take a brief background or brief intro to this particular system. Now the background of this system, it lies in that the government has to check GST evasion. So the government is concerned about the evasion of all the taxes, and particularly with regard to the newly introduced goods and services tax regime, the government is very particular that there should be no revenue leakage. So in order to curb the possible revenue leakage, the government has introduced certain changes in the EWay bill system, which again is related to GST and is an important anti-tax evasion measure. Now during the April to December period of last year, that is 2018, as many as over 3600 cases of GST violation or evasion have been detected, which involved a sum of over 15,000 crores, and it has only been possible because of the EWay bill system. So EWay bill system is a very important system. It's a system that introduces or that maintains like anti-evasion feature of the GST. Now, as there have been detected cases of negligence in the EWay bill generation, the decision to rework the system was taken by the Revenue Department. So the government recognized that there have been cases of negligence in generating EWay bill. The people are not taking this mechanism seriously. So we need to rework the system, and we need to make certain changes so that now the businesses and the transporters who are generating these EWay bills, they become more serious about this particular system. So first things first, let us talk about the GST or the goods and services tax. So I'm not going to delve much deeper into GST as of now because we've already learned about it in many of the previous videos. Let's just take a brief introduction to GST. Now GST, the most important fact which we must remember, especially from the examination point of view, is that it is an indirect tax. Now, indirect taxes are those taxes whose incidence is on one person, but the final burden is on another person. So, if you go to the shop to buy, say, a mobile phone, now in mobile phone, you will be charged the price of the mobile phone and the GST on the bill. So you will be paying the GST to the shopkeeper, and shopkeeper will be ultimately depositing it to the government. So the initial burden to deposit GST was on the shopkeeper, but the shopkeeper shifted the burden on you. He collected the GST on the bill from you. So this is the feature of indirect taxes. They are different from direct taxes. Indirect taxes, the incidence and the burden, they are on the same person. For example, income tax is a direct tax in India. So the need was felt that there are so many indirect taxes in India and we need to harmonize them, we need to replace them, and there should be one indirect tax for the whole country. And this is what is being provided by the mechanism of GST. So this GST Act finally came into effect. It came into application on 1st of July 2017. So this was the date of the introduction of GST. Now it is a comprehensive, it has merged all the previous indirect taxes, it is a multi-stage tax, it is going to be levied on different stages. First, the product is going to travel from the manufacturer to the wholesaler, then from the wholesaler to the retailer, and then from the retailer to the final consumer. So on different stages the GST is going to be levied, and it is going to be levied only on the value added by the different intermediaries involved. Further, GST is a destination based tax, so the final burden is going to be on the person who is residing in the destination or who is the consumer. So final GST will also be going to that particular state where the consumption has taken place or which is the final destination of the goods. Now what is a e-way bill mechanism? Now e-way bill is just short for electronic way bill. So under the GST regime, whenever we are moving goods exceeding a certain specified value, we have to go online to the special e-way bill portal which has been established by the government, and we have to fill in the details of the consignment of the goods which we are moving along with the details of the vehicle in which these goods are being moved in. So this allows the government to track the movement of goods. So government can track whether the goods being moved, they are legal goods on which the proper GST, proper taxes have been paid, or if there is no e-way bill, the government can easily say that these are illegal goods on which GST has not been paid. So this e-way bill system was introduced for transport of goods valuing more than rupees 50,000 from one state to the other state on 1st of April 2018. So GST came into being from 1st July 2017, but e-way bill system, it was introduced later in April 2018, and initially it was only for the movement of goods from one state to another, but then again from April 15 the system was put in place for movement of goods within the state also. So from April 15 e-way bill is required even if you are moving goods within the state. So now e-way bill is mandatory if the value of the goods exceed rupees 50,000, whether you are moving them outside the state or within the state. Now what an e-way bill looks like. Now e-way bill has basically two parts. Part A, it contains the detail of the consignment, that is the goods which are being moved, the details of the seller, the details of the buyer, and the details of the invoice or the bill against which the goods are being moved. So e-way bill is going to make sure that only those goods for which proper bill has been made, proper GST has been paid, they are being moved. And the second part is going to have the details of the transporter, that is the person who is causing the movement of the goods in his or her vehicle. So this is what a GST e-way bill looks like. So here is a picture of an actual e-way bill. So you can see here are all the details like e-way bill number, date, there is information about the validity, there is information about the supplier or the seller, and there is information about the recipient. At the same time, you can see the details regarding the value of the goods, the details regarding the bill number, bill date, and even the classification of the goods is being put herein. And in the second part, we input the details of the vehicle or the transporter which is carrying those particular goods. So this is basically the information which is required to be filed in for generation of e-way bill, and this is going to help the government to keep track on the movement of goods in order to check whether the goods being moved, they are properly billed, proper GST has been paid thereupon. Now, one of the new feature of the upgraded e-way bill mechanism is with regard to the validity of e-way bill. So first, we must be aware about the validity of e-way bill in general. Now, the validity of e-way bill depends upon two factors. One is cargo type and one is distance. So first thing, this is very clear to us that this cannot happen, that you can generate e-way bill now and transport the goods after 1 year or transport the goods after 1 month. So this is not going to happen. For normal cargo, after you have generated the e-way bill, the validity will be 1 day for every 100 kilometer. So if you have to transport goods from location A to location B and the distance between them is say 90 kilometers, then this distance has to be completed within 1 day. And if the distance is more than 100 kilometer, then the validity is going to be extended for 1 day per 100 kilometer or part thereof. So if the distance of movement is 823 kilometer, then the validity is going to be for 800 kilometer, it is going to be 8 days, and for 23 kilometer is going to be next 1 day. That is total 9 days validity is going to be there. So there is a restriction on the validity of e-way bill in order to check its misuse. Now, if the cargo is not normal cargo, it is big cargo or over dimensional cargo, the validity is for extended period. It is not for 1 day, but for an extended period. Now, we must be aware that there are certain cases in which the e-way bill is not required to be generated. Suppose the mode of transport is non-motor vehicle. Now, suppose if the goods, they are being carried upon a rickshaw or a tonga. Now, in that particular case, it is very difficult to generate a e-way bill because you won't be having proper details about the vehicle in which you are moving in. And then again, if you are moving goods in these kinds of vehicle, it will be for a very short distance in which the chances of evasion, they are going to be very less. So that's why if the mode of transport is a known motor vehicle, e-way bill is not required. And if you are moving goods from the custom port, airport, or the air cargo complex or the land custom station. So basically, if you are moving goods from the premises of the custom house to inland container depot or the container freight station for clearance by the customs. So basically, sometimes what happens, suppose the goods have arrived at the Mumbai seaport, and to supplement those seaports, some inland custom houses have also been created. Suppose inland custom house is in Madhya Pradesh. So the goods, they are going to be traveling from Mumbai to Madhya Pradesh, say Bhopal. So this movement of goods would not require e-way bill because it is simply under the domain of the customs as of now. Further, if the movement of goods is being caused by defense formation under the Ministry of Defense as a consigner or consignee. So if the Ministry of Defense is involved in the movement of goods, no e-way bill is required. Further, if you are transporting empty cargo containers, then also e-way bill is not required. Further, if the goods are being transported by rail, where the consignor of the goods is the central government, state government, or local authority. So if the government is sending some particular goods through rail, e-way bill is not required. Further, some goods have been specified for which no e-way bill is required to be generated. For example, LPG gas for supply to household, kerosene oil which is sold under the PDS or public distribution system, postal baggages which are transported by Department of Post, natural or cultured pearls or precious stones or precious metals, jewelry, goldsmith or silversmith wares and other articles. Now jewelry is very costly, so it would become very difficult to make e-way bill every time you purchase a jewelry item. Further, for movement of currency, e-way bill is not required. So if you are carrying currency worth rupees 60,000, then you are not going to generate a e-way bill to carry that amount of currency because that's not going to make any sense. Further, for alcoholic liquor for human consumption, petroleum, diesel, motor spirit, natural gas or aviation turbine fuel. Now these particular items, they are out of the GST ambit as of now, so that's why they have also been excluded from generation of e-way bill. And further, if you are moving used personal and household effects, so if you are suppose moving your shifting your house from one location to another, you are moving these kinds of things, then also you are not going to generate e-way bill for your old furniture, for your old TV. No e-way bill is required to be generated. Now if you talk about the upgraded e-way bill system, then this particular system will feature auto calculation on the basis of distance of the pin codes of the source and the destination point. So now the system is going to automatically calculate the validity of the e-way bill or the distance on the basis of pin code. So we have learned that distance determines the validity of e-way bill. So this upgraded feature will keep a track on the validity of e-way bill by keeping a check on the distance through fixing it via pin codes. Now the users or the generators of e-way bill, they can have a different distance from the auto calculated or auto generated, but this distance cannot exceed 10% of the auto calculated or auto generated distance. So suppose between two places A and B, the system automatically calculates the distance to be 500 km based on their pin codes. So now the user of the e-way bill or the generator of the e-way bill can enter the actual distance up to 550 km. So this 10% gap has been permitted. Further, Finance Ministry will no longer permit generation of multiple e-way bills on the basis of a single invoice, because this may lead to tax evasion. You may generate a single invoice and you may carry multiple e-way bills against that same invoice. So this has to be checked. Further, in case if the e-way bill has been generated once based on a specific invoice number, none of the parties, supplier, recipient or transporter, will be able to generate another e-way bill. So suppose for one bill number you have generated one e-way bill, then for that particular bill number you cannot generate another bill. Further, now under the new e-way bill system, the validity of the e-way bill can be extended while the goods are being moved from one place to other. So suppose there is a change in the destination of the goods in the midway, so in that particular case the validity can be extended. Further, in respect of e-way bills that are going to expire, a list is going to be generated by the e-way bill portal. So this is going to make sure that all the e-way bills which are going to expire, it becomes very clear to the generators of the e-way bill so that they can take adequate action. So this report is going to help the users in analyzing the data and ensuring that their consignment or the goods reach the destination within suitable time period. Now let's discuss some of the important MCQs framed out of this particular topic. So let's start with the first question. Which of the following is incorrect about goods and services tax or GST? It is an indirect tax which has replaced many indirect taxes in India. It came into effect on 1st July 2016. It is a comprehensive multi-stage destination based tax that is levied on every value addition, or none is incorrect. So friends, we have learnt about goods and services tax or GST, and we have learnt that the first statement is correct, that it is an indirect tax, but the second statement is incorrect because GST came into effect from 1st of July 2017. So our answer to this question is going to be option number 2. Next question. Which is true about e-way bill mechanism under GST? Options are: it is an electronic way bill for movement of goods valuing more than rupees 50,000. It is not required if the movement of goods terminates within the state. Both are true, or none is true. So friends, we have talked about the conceptual framework pertaining to e-way bill or electronic way bill mechanism in India under the GST regime, and in this regard we have learnt that e-way bill is required for both intra as well as interstate movement of goods valuing more than rupees 50,000. So in this case, first statement is going to be true, but the second statement is not going to be true. So our answer is going to be option number 1. Next question. Validity of e-way bill depends upon cargo type, distance, perishability of goods, and the options are A and B and C, A and C, all of the above. So friends, we have talked about calculation of validity of the EWay bill, and in this regard we have learned that the validity, it depends on two main factors. First is cargo type and the second one is distance. So broadly we have learned that for every 100 kilometer the validity is 1 day for normal cargo. So our answer to this question is going to be option number 1, that is A and B. Next question. In which of the following cases EWay bill is not required? Options are where the mode of transport is non-motor vehicle, movement of goods caused by defense formation under Ministry of Defense as a consignor or consignee, goods being transported by rail where the consignor of goods is the central government, state government or a local authority, or all of the above. So friends, we have also learnt about the cases in which the EWay bill is not required to be made, and in this regard we have seen that all these cases, they come under this particular scenario. So our answer is going to be option number 4, that is all of the above. Next question. As per the recently upgraded EWay bill system, options are auto calculation of distance on the basis of pin codes of the source and destination point will be there. Government will no longer permit generation of multiple EWay bills on the basis of a single invoice. A list in respect of EWay bills that are going to expire will be generated by the EWay bill portal, or all of the above are true. So friends, we have learned about the features of the upgraded EWay bill system, and in this regard we have learned that all these characteristics, they are true. So our answer to this question is going to be option number 4. So guys, these are solutions to all the questions. So guys, this was all about our discussion. If you are having any query, you can mail us at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can reach us at 8146207241. You can call us or you can WhatsApp us. And I would also recommend that you visit our website www.edutap.co.in for regular updates and important content on the respective examinations. Thank you guys. I wish you happy learning and all the best from the entire team.